Lydia, have you heard of requesting most benevolent outcomes? You know, Tom Moore's got a book, The Gentle Way, where you say it out loud and you request the most benevolent outcome for everyone involved or every being involved. That works for me. So that what's great about it is that you're putting out your intention through that. You're not saying how it's going to be done, but it's the best for everybody involved. And you know, his book's been, that was really great, because the fastest way to add chaos in my life, because you and I talked about this years ago when you taught me Reiki, and it was, you know, the minute I try and do this or do a vision board, chaos goes in my life. Like within about a half an hour, everything blows up. The job, the people. Oprah Winfrey did a whole episode on, vision boards, and I thought, oh, how great. And I got my little thumbtacks out and my pictures and I put it all up. And like literally within a half an hour, like it was insane. And I tried it 3 times and it happened every time. So I was like, okay, we're just going to put this away and do it a different way. So I think it's great learning through this, where some people it works and you just have to find your way with it. It's just, it's just what works for you. And that's kind of how it worked for me. But it honestly, everything blew up when I tried to sort of follow those rules.
Well, I think that's beautiful, because so what the book you're talking about is, again, non-attachment, that you set the intention and let it be for the highest good. And that's one of the principles in Reiki. Yes. Is we share energy for the highest good. And if we're doing long distance Reiki, we share it for the highest good of whoever and whatever may need it or want it. And in addition to, if a friend or client specifically wants the Reiki, then of course we're going to send it to them. But we're always conscious of the highest good and non-attachment in channeling Reiki. And the same thing in working with mantras, and the same thing in life. Right. So this is really, an expression of the art of living, of self-mastery, that we stay committed. We connect with our essence, our soul, our inner power, and then we take action, and then we have no attachment to it, or we let it go, and live and let live, live and let go, that, all those sorts of expressions. But in essence, we're always, whatever approach to working with mantras or affirmations, or manifesting, we always want to have a connection with ourselves in some way, shape, or form as a foundation to evolving, to expanding our consciousness and creating our highest quality life. So absolutely, there are many, many approaches, and there's not just one set of steps that everyone needs to take. There are as many ways to manifest as there are people.
And I think a lot of the early manifestation, like if you saw what Hay House did with all of the courses and the books and everything, it's the whole non-attachment, because there really was attachment in a lot of this. It's like, how do you make more money? How do you get a better job? How do you get a better apartment? So there was so much of that attached to it, where, you're right. You have to step away from it with the attachment to it, and request the best outcome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with wanting those things. Like when I was a kid, I had a little Christmas decoration by my bed of a little farmhouse, like a little cabin. And I always wanted to have a little house, like Little House on the Prairie, but it didn't happen. That came from my soul. So that didn't happen right away. And now, as what happens sometimes with manifestation, many years later, it manifested, tenfold. So I have a lot of Little House on the Prairie houses on my property. So I guess I was ready for that. I just wanted one little house, and I've got all these little houses to renovate. Yeah, it depends. Like Dave was saying, your attachment to it. You know, like what is the attachment to the car? You know, or the house. You know, three people wanting the same thing isn't coming from the same place, right? And again, there's nothing wrong. If someone wants to manifest purely from their ego, then that is part of their soul journey. And that's what they're meant to experience in this lifetime, right? Like that's their teaching. And that's okay. You know, every soul on the planet has come with their own reason for being here and what they are meant to learn and evolve with. So this is an awesome discussion about manifesting. Thank you everybody for your great contributions. It's so important before we create affirmations or mantras, and a lot of people, you know, can't visualize, and they're not meant to do it in a visual way. So, and not all mantras are about visualizing. So you know, we're all unique in how, as Dave was saying, and how we align with ourselves to create our highest quality life, you know, especially in any circumstance, because we want to live in our best state of being at all times, regardless of what's going on around us. I mean, that is a beautiful inner ease of living, which doesn't drain us, right? We're not easily burdened or depleted when we're in that Taoist state of non-attachment.